2 Prefecture of Police officers: Leo Vrinks, Daniel Auteuil, head of the BRI, and Denis Klein, Gerard Depardieu, head of the B. Right Back, both in Paris, wish to succeed their superior, the chief of the criminal police, André Dusselier, who is being promoted. Success depends on catching a murderous and highly active gang of armored car robbers. Another source of rivalry is that Camille, Valeria Galino, Vrinks' wife, used to be Klein's lover. Vrinks is an effective detective with loyal subordinates and some unsavory informants. Klein, who has questionable ethics, is less accomplished. Consequently, his marriage is strained and he drinks heavily. Vrinks helps people such as a bartender, who is raped and beaten by Bruno, Ivan Franek, while being robbed. Vrinks and his team kidnap Bruno, drive him to a forest, strip and bind him, give him a mock execution, push him into an open grave, warn him to leave her alone and abandon him. Vrinks' use of informants backfires when one on weekend release from prison. Cillian, Rochdy Zem, tricks him into being his getaway driver when he murders a gangster whose testimony convicted him. Cillian, in a quid pro quo for Vrinks providing an alibi and keeping silent, tells him about the gang's personnel and hideout. Vrink, implicated in the murder, has little choice but to agree. The victim was an informant of Klein, who suspects Cillian of involvement. Vrinks' team stake out the hideout, with Klein's team as backup but, on the verge of arrests, Klein ignores procedure and drunkenly approaches the gang. While most are still apprehended, an alerted carload open fire, killing Vrinks' best friend and taking a detective hostage. Later, she escapes and one of the criminals is caught and another shot while trying to force a roadblock. An investigation is launched into the detective's death, but one of Klein's informants coincidentally introduces him to a prostitute who witnessed the murder by Cillian. Discovering Vrinks' role, Klein ensures he is prosecuted, meaning that Vrinks' evidence on the gang arrest is inadmissible and Klein exonerated of blame. He offers Camille help but she rejects him. While under arrest, awaiting proceedings, Vrinks disarms his guards to allow him talk to his wife Camille in the court corridor. Camille is invited to a meeting by Cillian, but her phone is being tapped by Klein's team, who are seeking him. Cillian gets into her car and offers her money to live on. Klein, who has been tailing her, orders his team to move in to capture Cillian despite being warned of the danger to Camille. They flee but Klein orders that Camille's small and insubstantial car forced off the road and she and Cillian are killed in the crash. Klein uses Cillian's gun to shoot the dead Camille, then uses his own gun to shoot Cillian's body. It now looks like Cillian shot Camille, causing the crash, and Klein then shot Cillian in self-defense, absolving him of responsibility for their deaths. 7 years later, Vrinks is released. Klein, who now heads the Paris criminal police, kept his team silent about the truth of Camille's death by promotions, retirements and transfers. Vrinks reunites with his daughter, telling her they are leaving after some unfinished business. He visits Titi, an old colleague, who now works at a club, to find out about Camille's death. They have a spontaneous fight with men who seemed familiar, namely Bruno's friends, who threaten revenge. Later, Bruno ambushes Titi and discovers he was one of the policemen who humiliated him before. He demands to know the names of the others before beating him into a coma. Vrinks gets a gun to take revenge on Klein, who is attending a police ball. Using a stolen ID, Vrinks attends and confronts Klein in the lavatory. Klein explains Camille was dead when he shot her. and Vrinks suggests he kill himself with Vrinks' gun to avoid exposure. After Vrinks leaves, Klein follows him out, shouting obscenities, threatening to shoot him and blaming him for Camille's death. Bruno, lying in wait, shoots Klein dead. It appears that Titi gave his attackers Klein's name, instead of Vrinks's. The film ends with Vrinks and his daughter at airport security, heading for a new life abroad.